Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning. Beautiful people, beautiful people. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, beautiful people. So I am here with a spiritual message pertaining to sexual trauma victims, okay? Okay, so I have identified something in my same-sex community. You guys can let me know whether or not you agree with this or you don't. I would love to hear with anybody who is going through sexual trauma. I would love to hear what you have to say about it, okay? So, I feel that, well, it's not what I feel, it's what I was told. What I was being told today is that their sexual trauma can be handed down to you through your parents, through your parents, but it could also be how do I explain it? This is hard to explain. Okay. So you guys ever wonder why your grandmother was a victim of sexual trauma, and then your mom was a victim of sexual trauma, and then your dad was a victim of sexual trauma? Like, it's like there's like a whole storyline that goes back sometimes to before your sexual trauma occurred, okay? And I'm going to call that the predator. I'm going to call that the prey energy, okay? P-R-E-Y, okay? Because when you're prey, predators prey on you, right? There's a spiritual energy that I'm going to call the prey spirit. And this is a spiritual energy where predators, people with a predator spirit, can tell that you have a prey spirit, and they will therefore feel that they can sexually come towards you to molest you or to do things to you that are not, that are not moral, okay? So you're like, this is crazy. I got molested, my daughter got molested, my mother, my father. Y'all have a prey spirit on you that needs to be removed off of you. And that's what God is saying to me. That's why predators keep coming towards you, okay? And they keep on in every level of your bloodline, you keep experiencing some kind of sexual trauma where you're the victim, okay? Now, for those people who have a predator spirit, because there are people who have a predator spirit, and these are people who, for example, a pedophile has a predator spirit, okay? They inherit that spirit from their family members, all right? That predator spirit tells me that somewhere in your bloodline, somebody in your family was a predator, okay? And as such, they used to prey. In your bloodline, the people prey on victims, okay? I think should I turn off? I think hold on. I'm gonna unplug my car for a second. Hold on. Can you guys hear me better now? Can you hear me better? I should have known that this message was gonna I should have known that it was gonna give me issues. You can't hear me? I don't feel like anybody can hear me. Okay, yes, the background is going. Okay, all right, thank you, Deshaun. Okay, so this is what I need y'all to understand, okay? If sexual trauma has occurred to you, your mother, or several generations in front of you, and I'm saying sexual trauma, you have a spirit of a prey spirit on you, which means that people in your bloodline keep getting preyed on for sexual trauma, okay? And you have to heal that spirit. When we talk about breaking generational curses and generational behaviors, when we talk about generational curses, people always equate it to money. It's not always money, guys. Okay? There are generational curses that are handed down in our sexual energy. Okay? Where people just think that they can keep molesting you or doing things to you, and it's just not right. Okay, so if you have that in your family bloodline, please hit me up. And I don't know, I'm there. This is being revealed to me this morning in prayer and meditation. This is being revealed to me, or was revealed to me in prayer and meditation this morning. So you got to hit me up, because if you want me to give you help or tell you how to heal it, hit me up and I'll tell you what God says, or what I can get for your situation, or where the root of the issue is. Okay, if you are a man or woman who likes to sleep with young children, or you have a pedophile desire, or to have sex with people that are not of a certain age, and it would be looked at as immoral. If you have that kind of spirit on you, you have a predator spirit, and you might not even wonder, why am I so attracted to these young boys? As a woman, you could have a predator spirit on you. Why am I attracted to young boys? Why, as a man, you could have a predator spirit. Why am I attracted to young girls? And this is a spirit that you've inherited in your family that you need to take off of you. Okay, it has to be removed off of you. I was going through prayer this morning and discernment, okay, with God, and I didn't ask him about this, but he brought it to my attention, because I found out what he was telling me was one of the readings that I did a while back was actually a reading about a man or a woman going through a divorce, and they don't want you to know. And the reason why they don't want you to know is because they're divorcing another man. Like a bisexual man could have married a man in secret, and he didn't want anybody to know. It was a secret marriage, and so he didn't want anybody to know. And he divorced that man, and he wants to be with his divine feminine. And I was like, God, can that be possible? And he said yes. And I was like, okay, well, you got to explain it to me, because I would think that if he was married to a man and he's divorcing the man, isn't he gay? And he said no. And I said, okay, I'm confused. Explain it to me. So he said he had a spirit of perversion on him. Okay, and that spirit of perversion caused that man to believe that he was gay, and he's not. Okay, and where did he get that spirit of perversion from? He got it from the man who molested him as a child. It was an uncle or a brother or something like that that basically molested, groomed him sexually, and created and basically trained his body to respond to a man. And so as he grew older, the sexual trauma was done. It was over with. All right, it didn't happen anymore. After a certain point, it stopped. But he never healed that spirit that was placed on him, because you got to remember, sexual trauma, especially when it's rape or molestation, or like it's something that's being imposed on you that you don't desire in any way, shape, or form. And I can tell you that, I'm going to pull over in this parking lot. I can tell you that because most of the people that I have encountered who are bisexual or same sex, after having some kind of sexual trauma experience, have told me, I always ask them, do you think you would have been bisexual, or do you think you would have been same sex if you didn't if you didn't get raped or molested, and they're like, I don't think so. I never had a desire to be with the same sex until after I was raped or molested by the same sex. So that kind of tells me there's a spirit that's placed on a person when from the predator. There's a spirit that the predator has that they basically infect a person with when they do those things to a child. And then the child grows up having sexual confusion, looking at, boys looking at men, feeling attracted to them, and they're like, okay, but I don't, the person who, my predator was a man. Why would I be attracted to the same sex as my predator? Think about it. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Think about it. Okay, so let's put it this way. Let's put it in animal terms so we can make it make sense, okay? An elephants do not like snakes. They are terrified of snakes. Why? Because snakes bite, right? So if an elephant if an elephant has a snake that comes over and bites him, right? Do you really think that an elephant is going to go anywhere near a snake again? They're not. Because they know after they got bit by that first snake, why would I go near another snake and risk getting bit again? So I'm going to tell you this right now. All those people, all of you who have been in same-sex relationships, but you have trauma from your childhood, you're only in those same-sex relationships because you're going towards your predator. You're going towards towards the direction of the person or the sex that did something to you, and you do it because of the physical desire. It's like, because, well, I got molested by my aunt, and I'm attracted to women. And it's not, yeah, your body would be attracted because your aunt programmed your body to be attracted to her. She programmed your body to do what she wanted to do when you were with her. The same thing goes with little boys. If you are a boy and your uncle molests you, your uncle has now programmed your body to respond to his, and he's a man. He's a boy. So now when you come around other little boys, you're getting attracted to them. You're feeling a sexual pull, and you can't understand because your predator has programmed your body. It's almost like a spiritual implant or a spiritual infection that they put in your spirit to make your body respond to another man. But your body wasn't doing that before you were molested. It wasn't doing that at all. So as a man or a young lady, you start thinking as you get older, well, if I'm going around this girl or I'm going around this boy and I'm feeling attracted, I must be gay, right? You're not. You're not. You still have the spirit of your predator on you, and you got to get that shit off of you, okay? You will never know who you truly... I'm not saying that you can't be gay. I'm not saying that. You could be. But you will never know because the choice of who you wanted to be was taken from you at a young age. You didn't get the chance, like some of us who grew up and didn't have sexual trauma, we got the choice to decide what we wanted to be. We chose of our own free will. You did not get those of y'all who have sexual trauma, y'all did not get to choose of your own free will. It was forced on you. And so you wonder why, if you're a woman who has sexual trauma and you're dating women and you're doing same-sex relationships and they all keep falling apart and none of them ever work out to be good, right? Or you keep attracting abusive sexual partners. You want to know why? Because some of y'all could be attracting women with predator energy on them. And so now you're literally with the same type of woman that abused you. I'm telling y'all, this is deep. I can't even tell you how many facts. It's so many levels to this shit that he showed to me this morning. Okay. So now you have to heal that. You got to get that prey spirit off of you. Prey. You got to get that spirit of being somebody's prey off of you, so that a predator spirit can't come towards you. Okay. Some people have literally gone to the point of being molested by their family members or by their aunts, their uncles, their brothers, their sisters. And you, because we live in these families that keep secrets, okay, you literally take advice from the person who molested you, the person who took your free will away. And that's the person who you call and say, oh yeah, I met this person. What the hell? How can the same person who violated you or groomed you be the same person that you trust? It can't be. It can't be. But they make you believe that they can be. Your predator will make you believe you could trust me. You could trust me, and that's not true. You can't, because if you could trust them, then they would have never ever groomed you, or they would have never ever did what they did to you. We got to place accountability where accountability belongs, okay? So back to the situation with the man, because I'm going to go into the women too, because women, y'all have some of y'all that have sexual trauma on y'all, I know you're going through hell too. Now, this message is really not for the people who don't have sexual trauma, but were literally born gay. Like, I have liked the girl from the first day of my life. I've never wanted to be with a boy, or never had desire to be with a girl if I'm a boy. I have felt this way since I was little. I'm not talking to y'all. Y'all don't have sexual trauma, okay? So this message doesn't apply to you, all right? Those people made their free will decision. People who were born a certain way and don't have sexual trauma, and they've been attracted to the same sex since they were a child, it's not any issues with y'all. Y'all are the way you are, and you've accepted it, and you've always known who you are. I'm talking specifically to the people whose sexuality is attached to or rooted in a sexual trauma that they experienced as a child, okay? Or from a young age. It even could be a teenager. You could be raped, molested, or groomed as a teenager, as a young teenager. I'm hearing anywhere 10, whatever. Okay, so listen to me. So when God told me that this man can be straight, I was like, I'm confused. Okay? Now, I'm going to explain something to you. Men, let me make sure I get this right. Let me make sure I get it right, because I don't want to get it wrong, because I'm going to get in trouble if I don't make sure the message is correct. Go ahead, Spirit. Okay. All right. If your sexual orientation is attached, or your preference is attached to your sexual desire, what you desire sexually, and you have some sexual trauma from your childhood, or just from being raped, molested, or whatever, you don't know what you are. And it's a lot of people that's going to argue with me on that. You don't know who you are. You don't even know what you like. That's why I said I don't believe in bisexuality. I don't. Okay? I feel like bisexuality stems from two things. Greed, because you just want to fuck everything walking. Because you just want to feel that pleasure over and over again. And you don't care where you get it from. Or two, from sexual trauma. That's where I feel like bisexuality comes from. Okay? I feel like everybody should pick a team. And that's just how I feel. Either you're in the men, or you're in the women, or you're same sex, or you're opposite sex. But I think when we accept bisexuality, I feel like we're saying that it's okay to be lustful, it's okay to have a desire to screw anything and anyone, and you don't have to choose. When in reality, how can you build a foundation spiritually? If you don't choose a career path, how can you build a foundation? So if you don't choose a sexual desire to stick with, how can you choose a foundation? How can you build a foundation? You can't. Okay? So that's just my personal opinion on bisexuality. Okay? I don't want anybody, I don't judge anybody who's bisexual. Live your life the way you want to. Okay? But that's just my personal stance on it. All right? Now, When it comes back to him telling me that this man is straight, and he said to me that because he was molested by a man, he lived a bisexual lifestyle, but he was living a down low lifestyle. Men that are living down low lifestyles have sexual trauma. I'm gonna keep it so 100. Okay. There's also, oh wow, damn. There's also another component to this. They just said, because if a person is born gay, a woman likes a woman or a boy likes a boy, and they're molested by the opposite sex, that creates sexual trauma as well. Okay. So I think what it comes down to is any sexual act that is performed on you involuntarily is definitely going to cause an issue in your sexuality and your physical attraction, who you're physically attracted to. Any sexual act that violates and that you did not choose to have happen to you is going to affect your sexual choices in the future. Okay? Because your body may be out of alignment. So a down low man or woman, because there's down low women out here too, okay? A down low man or woman is hiding their dealings with the same sex because they know that their body wants the same sex, but their spirit is not in alignment with that. Because if your spirit is in alignment with what your body wants, then you wouldn't have a problem walking in that. You wouldn't have a problem being that, okay? Because that's all you know, all you feel. But when that sexual trauma happens and your body is programmed to respond to the sex that you did not get to choose for it to be programmed to. In other words, most of us have our first sexual experience. My first sexual experience was my choice. My first sexual experience was mine. I chose the person, I chose the place, I chose the time, okay? When you have sexual trauma, you did not get to choose your first sexual experience. It was chosen for you and it was forced on you by someone. So now every other sexual experience that you have that comes after that is rooted in that very first sexual experience. That sexual experience that was forced on you, which is now trauma. Okay? That's a problem. You got to heal that. You have to heal that. Because you're not going to have a healthy relationship or a marriage with anybody until you get to the root of that situation. Now, how do you get to the root of the situation? So I was talking to somebody, I was talking to a young man who was molested as a child, and he's not sure, he's been dealing with both sexes. And he said, well, I'm going to go have sex with a woman and figure myself out. But you just had sex with a man last week. If you want to figure out who you are, you got to stop having sex. Okay? It's kind of like you got to isolate the issue. You got to get to the root of the issue. And a lot of people don't understand that with sexual trauma. If you have sexual trauma, you don't need to go out and have more sex. You need to stop having sex. Okay? You need to stop having sex completely. You need to abstain and you need to starve your flesh. And you need to do what I call a Control-Alt-Delete. Why do you think I've been telling people to go into celibacy? Celibacy allows you to go into a Control-Alt-Delete. During the time of celibacy, your body can now get in alignment with your spirit. You understand what I'm saying? But your spirit needs, and also your spirit gets cleansed during that time because you're not taking on the spirit of other people. It's just me, myself, and I. And if I have a predator, if I have a prey spirit on me or a predator spirit on me during the time of celibacy, it's going to be starved out of me. You want to know why? Because even if you have a perversion, a spirit of perversion on you during the time of celibacy, which is another form of fasting, your flesh is going to be, whatever is causing you to want to sex everything, it's going to be cleansed off of you. It's going to leave. Think about it. If you have a spirit on you that wants to have sex every time you see every woman or opposite every man, if you don't feed it, what's going to happen? That spirit's like, man, I'm not staying here. I'm not staying here. I'm not getting no sex over here. I'm not getting no physical pleasure. So I'm gonna vacate this person's body and go find another person's body to go into, because I'm not getting what I want. Sometimes we take on the spirit of perversion, and the spirit of perversion because we keep on having sex with people who have issues. So say you're a man and you're dealing with a woman who is she's down low. Now all of a sudden you questioning, you're sleeping with a woman who has sex with women behind your back. So she's sleeping with spirits of perversion and predator spirits, and then she comes home and has sex with you. Next thing you know, you online, you looking at porn, but instead of looking at the woman, you looking at the man. See, this is why I say pornography is so dangerous. Okay? Because sometimes people will be like, oh, he watches a lot of porn. Is he watching the woman or is he watching the man? You need to pay attention to that. Okay? Because I'm telling y'all, it's a lot of people out here that, as a woman, they'll say, oh, my man watches porn. Sweetheart, he is not watching that porn for the woman. He is watching that man. He is wishing that he was that man. Okay? That he's wishing that he's that man. All right? And I'm going to say this to you because and I'm a grown adult, so I don't give a damn what nobody says, okay? But as a grown adult, I have been in relationships. Well, one relationship. I've never done it with anybody else. One. I was in one relationship where we made little sex videos because he didn't want to watch no other man. He didn't want to watch no other man. He's like, nah, what I want to look at another man for? He's like, so he had his videos. And he was like, yeah, okay, I don't want to see another man's naked ass. I don't want to see that, okay? I want to see a woman, okay? So pay attention to that, because that was the first time I ever heard some shit like that. And as a woman, I was like, shit, I'm with that. Like, I'm cool with that, because now I don't have to question if he's watching a video of you and of him and I don't have to question if he's looking at the man or the one. He's looking at me. He's looking at himself. And you can't be gay if you're attracted to yourself. That's impossible. Some of y'all need to pay attention to that. And some of y'all need to leave that porn alone, because you're feeding a spirit that you don't even know is a subliminal spirit there. And you got to cut that out. Okay? So I say that because if there's a man and he's dealing with a woman who's down low, and all of a sudden you start feeling like you looking at men going, oh, he's nice. He's a nice looking man. You weren't doing that shit before. Look at the woman you laying with. Because something ain't right. She may be looking at the same sex and attracted to the same sex, and she's putting that spirit on you. Okay? Then, if a woman is really if a woman is proposing a threesome to a man, you need to be careful about that, gentlemen. Because a woman will say, oh, we could do threesomes. We could have another woman. She's saying that because she wants another woman. See, it's different when a man comes to a woman and says, hey, I want to have two women. But when a woman proposes to a man that she wants to have another woman in the room, that's because it's for her. She wants the pleasure of that second woman. But a man thinks, oh, she's doing it for me. Are you sure about that, sir? Because I remember when a man asked me to do a threesome, I said, well, hold on for a second. I don't enjoy that. I'm not a lesbian. So why can't it be two men? And he was like, well, I'm not gay. I said, well, then we have a problem here, because neither am I. Okay? Some women will do threesomes, okay, to be with a man. Like they'll be like, okay, well, I want to keep him, so I'll do it. But if you're not attracted to women, you're not going to enjoy it at all. Okay? There's no pleasure in that for you in any way, shape, or form. Okay? So why would you do it? unless you have low self-esteem and you're trying to hold on to a man. Or, like I said, if a woman is proposing it to a man and she's telling him, oh, we can do this, we can bring whatever we want in the bed, 10 times or not, she's down low. And she can get her fill of dealing with that other woman and keeping her man. Okay? And then making him think that she's into him when in reality the two women are really into each other. So men, the men out here, y'all gotta watch out too. Okay? Y'all gotta watch out. Because that shit's not cool. Now, if I had proposed, if I had said to him, can I have two men in the bedroom? And he said yes, that would have been a red flag for me. Because most straight men, oh no, every straight man, I'm going to say every straight man, I'm not even going to say most. Every straight man on the face of this earth is not going to bring another man in the bedroom. You cannot have two masculine energies in the bedroom. It does not fucking work. And if you pay attention to the porn industry, most of the men that do all that, those have multiple men in those porn things, those men are bisexual already. Okay? I'm gonna keep it so real. They'll tell you. All right? A true masculine man does not get any pleasure out of having another man or even another woman in his bedroom. He doesn't. He wants to be the only man. Period. And that's all there is to it. All right? So pay attention, because all this sleeping around and these multiple parties and these let me bring it back around to that. Swingers have a spirit of perversion on them. The wife has a spirit of perversion on her, and the husband has one on him. And they agree that we're going to swing, and we're going to do orgies, and we're going to do all this stuff because we're going to indulge in and feed that spirit within us. That's not healthy, y'all. It's not. Okay? If you are a husband and a wife, it's what would your vow? What was the vow? It says, to honor and respect. How is it respectful to participate in that type of lifestyle? How is it respectful to be in an open marriage? So I can go over here and screw whoever I want, and you can go over there and screw whoever you want. But you think that's honor, bay, and respect? That's not honor, bay, and respect. I'm sorry, it's not. That's not a marriage. Okay? You had a wedding, but you don't have a marriage. Okay? And a wedding does not make a marriage. I've told many people this before. The marriage is the wedding is the act of standing up there and taking these vows. Okay? A marriage is what consists as the foundation before the vows are even taken and after they're taken. There's a difference between a wedding. So don't be looking at all these people out here thinking that because they had a wedding that they have a marriage, because they don't. And I feel sorry for those who think that they do. Nah, you don't have it. Okay? So I had to share this with y'all because they're telling me that people are sexually confused because of spirits that are on them. Okay? And you have to believe it. If you look at this shit, guys, how can y'all not see it? If you look at it, you got pansexuals, metrosexuals. What the hell is all this shit they coming up with? It's like as soon as somebody feels something, like it's like if a man goes and hugs a tree and gets a hard on, well, now I'm an arborsexual. You know? I'm an arborsexual. What the hell is an arborsexual? It means that when I hug a tree, I get an erection. What the fuck? Stop. This shit gotta stop somewhere. You know? It don't make no damn sense. Okay? Then you're like, well, you meet somebody and they're like, oh, I'm a pet sexual. Well, what the hell is a pet sexual? Oh, well, when I go into pet stores, I get a hard on. What the fuck? The hell is wrong with y'all? Stop. It has to stop somewhere. We are letting our bodies dictate everything. We are letting our sexual desires dictate new sexualities. How's that make sense? It doesn't. It doesn't. When somebody told me, I'm a pansexual, I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, what's that got to do with a frying pan or something? When the fuck does this stop? When do we stop letting the body control the determinations? When do we stop letting our sexual organs determine what we are? Your sexual organs are beneath your head for a reason. Your brain is not in your groin. Your brain is on the very top of your head. God built you scientifically that way, so that your brain should be telling the rest of your body what to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're letting our bodies tell us what to do instead of our brains. Something's not right, man. Something ain't right, okay? And I'm telling you, this shit is getting out of hand, okay? Now, once you heal this spirit that's been handed down to you or placed on you, then you can move up. You can move forward. You can determine who you truly are, but you have to abstain to do that. You got to get rid of the trauma that's on you. You got to abstain from it, okay? You got to abstain from sex, and sometimes you got to abstain from people, okay? Until that spirit gets starved off of you, and now you get to decide, what do I want to do? I am coming around a man, and I'm not attracted to him just because. I'm coming around a woman, and I'm not attracted to her just because. I am now attracted to the way a person talks to me, the way a person treats me, the way a person acts, towards me. I'm not just attracted to their ass or their tits or their dick print in a pair of gray sweatpants. I gotta get breakfast. So y'all, we gotta pay attention to these things, because these spirits are all over the place, and nobody's teaching us how to cleanse our spirit. Nobody's teaching us how to cleanse our aura, our bodies. Okay? Oh, it's my nephew's birthday today. Okay, I gotta send him some money. So, all right. So, what's the other thing I need to say? You got to get these traumas off of you from your previous, that happened to you, so you can pick what you want to be. You might choose to be with a man, you might choose to be with a woman, but you don't know until you get that sexual trauma healed. Okay. The other thing that I need to bring to your attention is, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I hit the button by mistake. Okay, the other thing that I need to bring to your attention is, okay, hold on. What is it? There was one more thing. Oh, okay. So those of you that are in the same-sex community, right? Meaning you were born and you're like, I've been gay since day one, okay? I have never had a desire for a man, or I've never had a desire for the opposite sex. I have always been attracted to the same sex. I do not have any trauma. I don't have any of that, okay? For those of y'all in the same-sex community that don't have any trauma attached to you, y'all need to be careful with who y'all date, because some of these people that you're dating the same sex, but you're dating same-sex people with trauma. And if you're dating same-sex people with trauma, the relationships are not going to work out, okay? Some of them have trauma that they know about, and some of them have trauma that they don't know about, okay? Because they don't remember, or they don't know about it because it was so young. If you are a person in the same-sex community, you need to be asking the people that you're dating whether or not they have sexual trauma. If they have sexual trauma, you need to ask whether or not they healed it. If they have not healed their sexual trauma, then they're not really same sex. And what will happen is they will go into a relationship with you and abuse you, because deep down inside they're holding anger towards the person who molested them or did something to them. And now you're like, I don't understand. I'm in a relationship with a man, with a same-sex person. I don't understand why they're abusing me. They're abusing you because you represent their predator. They don't even understand it. They don't even understand it. They're yelling at you. They're fighting with you. You represent their predator, and they still see their predator as the sex that raped them or hurt them. So if a woman is molested by a woman, okay, and she gets in a relationship with another woman, she's got anger in her because it was a woman who made her attracted to a woman. So now she's going to abuse you in that same-sex relationship. Same thing goes for men. If you are a man in a same-sex relationship and you have no trauma on you, you have never been molested, you have never been raped, you don't have anything sexually that's been done to you that made you choose that, so you know who you are, and then you go into a relationship with another man who has trauma on him. Now he wants to beat you, yell at you, treat you bad because you represent the man who molested him, that put that spirit on him, and so he has a resentment for his same-sex partner. Get out of those relationships and do not date those people. Those people are unhealed and they're not gay. They're not. They're sexually confused, and there's a difference. And a sexually confused person will go into a same-sex relationship and abuse their partner. Okay? And that y'all need to be careful of that. Okay? Everybody assumes that if a person is gay that they have some kind of sexual trauma, and that is not true. My son is gay and he has never ever been touched by anybody, period, because I protect my children. Okay, so I protected my children. Okay, so at the end of the day, my son, he can't be in a relationship, he can't be in a healthy relationship with a person who has sexual trauma that they haven't healed, because the stuff that they feel he can't relate to. He can't relate to being violated sexually. He can't relate to somebody taking away his choice, because nobody took his choice away. So now if he goes into a relationship with a person who has sexual trauma, they're now looking at him to fix them. Well, I need to know that you're really gonna, that you're really. Why does he have to prove that? He knows who the fuck he is. You're the one with the issues. Let's keep it real, okay? So people with sexual trauma will get into a relationship with a same-sex person, and now they're constantly making you pay. I don't even know how to explain it. That's the best way I can explain it, okay? So people who are same-sex and you don't have trauma, y'all need to be careful who y'all date. Don't assume that just because somebody comes to you and tells you, oh, well, I'm into girls or I'm into boys too, that don't just assume that shit. Because they might only be into it because they were molested or they were raped or something happened to them. And that means that they don't know who they are. And you need to let them go, and you need to find another person who does not have sexual trauma on them. Okay? And I'm saying that because the abuse rate for same-sex has skyrocketed. Okay? Same-sex relationships are experiencing major domestic abuse. Why? Because you're dealing with a partner who is not truly gay. They're not. Maybe they went to jail, they had an experience with a girl, or they were molested by their cousin or something. They're not truly gay. They don't know what they are. Their choice was decided by their sexual organ. Their relationship choice has been decided by their sexual organs. And as such, that is why they are going to do you the way they do you. Okay? So that is the message that I'm getting this morning. This was kind of a deep message. I know it jumped all over the place, but it was, I'm not gay. So I kind of he had to give it to me from their perspective, but he also had to show it to me from the perspective of an outsider looking in. And so he was showing, it almost was like he had a cube in his hand. The Holy Spirit had a cube in his hand, and he kept turning the cube around saying, this cube has one ideology or one fact in it, but we need to show it from different angles. So let's spin the cube this way and show from this angle. Let's spin the cube that way and show from this angle. Okay? So the Holy Spirit is showing this to me. All right? So that's what I have for y'all. Lord have mercy. I gotta, this was a lot. I need to replenish myself now. I love you guys. All right? Bye.